What is happening? AJ Game Dude here, and the printer. Okay, Ubisoft has kind of really pissed me off because of what they're doing with Ubisoft Montpelier, who are the developers behind the very excellent Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, as they are disbanding the team and getting those devs to work on games with better sales potential. So, as kind of what the subheading of this article says, making a great game can't save you from the game industry, apparently. So, with all that being said, before I get into details, just wanted to say, hey, if you like my videos, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video with other people, the channel, whatever have you. That would always be appreciated. And of course, commenting in the comments below, that's always, again, just something that really helps boost the channel up the algorithm and into other people's up next or YouTube homepages and things like that. With all that being said, let's talk about Ubisoft breaking up Ubisoft Montpelier. So, the reason why this annoys me so very much is for a couple of reasons. One is that Prince of Persia did exceptionally well, both in terms of reviews, both critically and commercially. Sorry, critically and with fans. It did not do well commercially because it only sold at most 1 million copies. There are a handful of reasons for why this was a thing, and I have this Engadget article that kind of talks about it, about why did it underperform. And while there's no hard data, it was probably because this was a 2D side scroller costing at $60. That could be one reason that only Nintendo could get away with full price titles like those, which 100% is the case. But also the fact that it was one of 2 side-scrolling games to release this year, injecting some confusion into the market. Evil Empire, which was behind the team behind Dead Cells, soft-launched the Rogue Prince of Persia, which is a roguelite spin on the traditional franchise, because keeping in mind, Prince of Persia is in fact originated as a 2D side-scroller and not the 3D titles that we know from like the sort of mid to late 2000s. But yeah, we know for a fact that Prince of Persia did, in fact, not sell anywhere near as much as intended in internally. So it says here, noting, pretty much French language breakdown has been translated by and summarized by Reset Era Arubido, noting that The Lost Crown did not meet internal sales expectations, so Ubisoft wanted these devs working on other games with better sales potential. And what I hate about this sentence so much is that Ubisoft Montpellier have always made games that have never sold particularly well, but have always been absolute bangers. So, to kind of give you a basic idea, they've worked on Rayman, and pretty much they've worked on most of, if not all of the Rayman games. And some of the best Rayman games we've ever gotten, specifically in the form of Origins and Legends, those two were games that were so good. We got that in 2011 and 2014 respectively. We have not gotten a Rayman game since, and I don't know why. We've gotten constant releases in the form of Far Cry. We've gotten the Crew titles over and over. We've gotten Assassin's Creed over and over. I think I've already said Far Cry. Jesus Christ. And then we've gotten Watch Dogs, Watch Dogs 2, and Watch Dogs Legion, which I guess Watch Dogs is also now a dead franchise to Ubisoft ultimately. And so the fact that we've never gotten another Rayman game, hell, we've got Trackmania games more than Rayman games during the past 10 years. That's where my main anger is. I want to see a new Rayman game, because Rayman is such a good franchise. I don't know why they don't do more with it. The same thing with Splinter Cell. I know there's a remake coming of the original Splinter Cell, but really though, the last game we got was back again also in 2014 in the form of Splinter Cell Blacklist on PS3 and 360. We didn't even get a Splinter Cell game during the PS4 Xbox One generation, to be completely honest, and we likely won't during the PS5 and Xbox Series S and X generation, from what it seems like. But they've also made games so they made the Peter Jackson King Kong game. I didn't actually know that. That's interesting. As well as Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter, I guess if you're into that sort of franchise. But then we got games like Zombie U, which was a good idea with the Wii U, but then they released it as Zombie on other platforms later on. Valiant Heart: The Great War, which was an excellent UbiArts game. The revival of Rayman with Origins and Legends. Hell yeah, like that is very, very good, both of these games. They've also worked on Beyond Good and Evil, the original, which people bloody love to this day and would nowhere near sell as well as most games that they're expecting to sell well now. So I feel like a lot of the developers are probably going to be split between the new Assassin's Creed game, Beyond Good and Evil 2, which probably is never going to sell enough and is never going to do well enough to be worth the cost, time, effort, and budget that was put into it. All of the bad, decisions that Ubisoft are making at the moment are all just coming home to roost. Because this last paragraph pretty much, really puts everything into perspective. It's clear that Ubisoft as a whole is feeling a little nervous right now. Softer than expected sales of Star Wars Outlaws have led to delay in Assassin's Creed Shadows and a big stock drop for the company that's reportedly had the owners considering a full buyout to take Ubisoft private. Whatever the future holds for those upcoming Ubisoft games remains to be seen, and there may very well not even be a Ubisoft left if, say for example, they were bought up by, I don't know, Tencent, or the minority stakeholder law does take into effect, and they're able to actually change the entire leadership of Ubisoft as a whole. Ubisoft have angered me in a far more personal way by hurting my chances of getting a new Rayman game, a new 2D Rayman game along the lines of a Origins or a Legends. So I guess at this point, really just hands up in the air. Normally I don't really care too much for what Ubisoft does, but this just hurt me in a way that I cannot begin to talk about. Or I cannot begin to even describe. But with all that being said, let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comments below. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel. I'm aiming for 400 subs in the not too distant future. And with all that being said, I do upload every day, so I'll see you guys tomorrow.